Ogres!
The Charlemagnes! So many Charlemagnes! Hey everybody, it's Mother Goose 27 and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about the Silence and the Fury. I'm so hyped. I am so hyped for this. I don't think you guys understand. This is the DLC I am the most excited for. Don't get me wrong, I've loved the DLC CA has put out, but I've never been this excited for a DLC. And really, I mean, the Beastman update is great, but we got Oxyotl, Oxyotl? I don't know. Tell me how to properly pronounce it, please. And we got Troglodons. These are the two Lizardmen units I have been wanting since the very beginning. And I'm so excited. Let's actually talk about it. I've got the FAQ up right now. I've already read through it a couple times. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but there are definitely some little tidbits that I want to point out. What you guys need to know. What does it include? 2 legendary lords leading their own factions. 2 unique legendary lords. Missed that. My bad. Oxyotl, who hunts unseen for the Lizardmen. So excited! And Taurox the Brass Bull, which don't get me wrong, I'm really excited for the Beastman half of this update. I don't want you guys to get it confused, but the Lizardman half is just so good. Powerful new units and heroes for both the Lizardmen and Beastmen, Jabberslythe, and other monsters for the Beastmen. Flying snakes, blind monsters, and new skinks for the Lizardmen. A unique campaign narrative for both faction with special mechanics on the campaign map. There's also a massive free update coming at the same time, which includes a number of elements you'll learn more about below and over the next 24 hours. Which come back tomorrow. A lot of big information coming then. So release date, we finally got it, July 14th. If you want to purchase it yourself, it's 10% off on Steam right now. Look how good that Troglodon looks. Fantastic screenshot. Okay, sorry. For the Beastmen comes Taurox, the Fury. A nigh invulnerable Doombull with but one weak spot at his neck, the only part of his body not covered in brass. Taunted and maligned by the Chaos Gods, he believed he can finish his ascendance and become unstoppable if he simply completes a ritual to chaos and lets it flood into the world. True or not, he gathers the herd to find the heart of the dark, completing other minor rituals to locate it and begin his work. Oxyotl, the Silence, is a skink and lizardman lord, stealthy and with the ability to sense chaos. Taurox rituals and plans have garnered Oxylotl's attention, and he knows he must stop the Beastmen if the world is to remain relatively peaceful. With a focus on stealth, Oxyotl must revive silent sanctums in the secret places of the world and gain the power needed to stop Taurox, which I think is really interesting. So it seems like they both have a very similar campaign mechanic, which I think will work out thematically for this Lord pack. New units, and I'm not going to read the description of all of these units, but I may read a couple. So we're getting a Doombull Lord, which I'm super excited for. I've been wanting a Doombull Lord since probably the first Beastman DLC came out, to be honest. We're getting a Wargor, a Tuskgor Chariot, a Ghorgon, which is a heavily needed unit, and the Jabberslythe, worth as much as a Charlemagne. I love it. I'm so excited to see these things and actually get to use them in the game. In terms of the Lizardmen, we're getting the Skink Oracle, rides a Troglodon, the not Charlemagne, oh my gosh, okay, Chameleon Stalkers, which is actually an infantry unit. I didn't realize that at first, and I feel kind of dumb. They are in ambush units with explosive dart first strike ability. I think these are going to be extremely useful. The Coatl, and of course the Troglodon, poison dealing monster that can also shoot their venomous spit which is effective against large targets. Another fantastic screenshot we got here. I believe this is the Wargor right here. Okay, let's talk about the free content. I'm not going to read this entire thing, but we are getting 2 new lords and reinforcements. Let's talk about it. We'll see you back here tomorrow when we talk about a new Dwarf legendary lord, mercenary reinforcements, and a new Beastman lord. So first thing from that I really want to point out is it says Beastman lord and Dwarf legendary lord. So because of the phrasing, it potentially could just be a generic lord, but I think they just either forgot the legendary or they didn't want to say legendary lord twice. So I'm guessing that Beastman lord is going to be a Beastman legendary lord, because we're already getting a generic lord in the Doombull, but we'll just have to see. It is still possible it could be a generic lord. Then we're getting a new Dwarf legendary lord. I didn't think we were going to get a Dwarf update until Total War Warhammer 3. I know a lot of the big YouTubers were talking about it being a possibility, but I didn't believe it. And I was wrong, I'll admit it. And then mercenary reinforcements, which we saw in the Hungry video, which I showed earlier. We are getting ogres, and I'm really interested to see how this turns out, because this could either be Dogs of War, and they're just giving them out as a free race pack, potentially. Maybe they're unplayable, but we can still hire them as mercenaries. We did get a free faction within Total War Warhammer 1 with Retonia, so I don't know. And I believe this is most likely because it was just the ogres that we saw. I'm thinking that the Ogre Kingdoms are going to be the pre-order DLC, and reinforcements is going to be a mechanic that we get with them where you can hire Ogre mercenaries, and that's probably something you can do without owning the Ogre DLC. It's but you can't actually play as the Ogre faction until you get the DLC, but you can hire them for a temporary amount of time for your campaign, maybe even in multiplayer battles, to fight alongside you. And I assume, because they're Ogre Kingdoms, there will be some penalty if they don't get food, that they're gonna eat your boys, they're gonna eat you guys. Okay, so that's really it there, but I do also want to talk about the Steam page. We got a couple more screenshots. That's definitely not the one I clicked. We've got the campaign map, small boy, the tiny boy. I really like this screenshot here. There's a couple tidbits here on the Steam page that I want to talk about as well. Here on the Steam page we have the Regiments of Renown. So we've got the Groove The Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run. They are Centaurs with throwing axes, which come with poison attacks as well as health regeneration via their Drunken Bravado passive ability. Again, something I'm really excited for. This is really going to help out the Beastmen roster. We've got the Vulgar-Glad Broodmother, a legendary Jabberslythe that can sunder armor with regular attacks as well as via a powerful armor-piercing vortex. We have the Blood Brute Behemoth, a legendary Ghorgon that deals more damage the lower an enemy's health is, making it the perfect monster slayer. Again, I think the Ghorgon is probably going to be one of the most helpful units in terms of making the Beastmen good again, and this Regiment of Renown version is going to help out even more, and I love it. Okay, so here's something I don't think was in the FAQ, but I definitely could have missed it. The Coatl, a highly intelligent flying monster. The Coatl can cast Destructive Bombardment and Vortex spell, and grants stock to any friendly units below it. This is really going to help out the whole stealth theme of Oxyotl. Let's talk about the Regiments of Renown. The Pale Death, a feral Troglodon of great renown, which grants itself and nearby friendlies melee buffs whenever it uses its fearsome primeval roar ability. Geltbloom's Taurox, this feral carnosaur of legend, will never rampage and has the Vanguard and Strider abilities, making it the ultimate first strike monster. And then the Spirit of Tepuk, the Spirit of Tepuk, a legendary Coatl which can cast the Shield of Thorns and banishment spells. Just another fantastic unit! This is going to be an amazing DLC. Man, just this whole thing was so hyped. The trailer was fantastic. The secret unlisted video showing off the ogres, amazing. The reveal of the new Dwarf, Legendary Lord, and their minor update is going to be fantastic. The Beastmen are finally going to be good to play. I am most excited for the Ghorgon in terms of Beastmen units. I feel like everything that they're bringing to the table in this update for the Beastmen is amazing, but the Ghorgon's definitely what I'm most excited for. And then the Lizardmen. I have been waiting for this update since day one, you guys, since we saw that the Lizardmen were going to be a base faction for Total War Warhammer 2, and here it is, finally. Like I said, I think this is the DLC I'm most excited for, but what do you guys think about it? What are you most excited for? Ogres, Dwarves, Beastmen, Lizardmen? Let me know in the comments below. Are you going to be picking this DLC up? I don't have it, but if you are planning to pick it up, or Total War Warhammer 3, I know a lot of the larger Total War Warhammer creators have, I believe it's called Nexus. You can find it on their probably their about page, the description of any of their videos. But if you want to support an actual Total War Warhammer creator, you can buy these things through this website, same price, but the creators get a cut of it, basically. And again, I am not a part of that, but I definitely think you guys should support a Total War Warhammer creator if you can. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Mother Goose out.